Hello, this is Mr. Monster Guy with an actual album review, my first real album review. And I decided to start with an album that probably not barely many people know. I don't think, anyways. And it's called Serenity by Rockstar and Superstar, the Rockstar Superstar project. And well, all right, where do I start? It's a very different album. It's just two guys, whose names are Rockstar and Superstar. They're brothers, and it's about reaching uh, serenity through getting sober from drugs. It's basically the whole album is basically an album that combats. Actually says on the back here. Um, it it's dedicated to combat drug addiction or any other kind of addiction. The one of the one of the brothers, Superstar, who plays drums on this album, was the guy who was addicted to, I think it was painkillers and alcohol or something like that. And he almost died at one point. But yeah. Well, the cover art is pretty cool, I think, because it's I'll have a picture of it up here, but I think the wings coming out from the guitar look pretty cool, and just I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. And before I actually get into reviewing the album song by song, I'd like to point out that there are a lot of guest performers in this album. Um, let's see. Joe Babick, Bruce Kulick, Ted Poley, Andrea Becker, Todd Latour, Stevie Rachelle, Chris Caffrey, Howard Lee, David Schultz, Carlos Cavoza, Lorraine Lewis, Chris Schrum, Sherry Curry, George Lynch, Mark Slaughter, Veronica Freeman, John Oliva, Zach Stevens, Bob Kulick, Adam Pettit, and Pete Wells. There are a lot of people that perform on this album, and yeah, and I don't know what else to say about that really. But let's get to the album, the actual review. So the first song is called "Abuse Me," and I think it's an awesome way to open the album. It The music is just driving. It's a nice paced song, and it doesn't last too long. This whole album, it flies by. It's relatively modest, not modest, short. Well, not short either, but it doesn't feel like it takes very long. And it's only 40. It's 45 minutes long, but it doesn't. It feels shorter than that, which there's nothing to complain about, and there's nothing especially good why it's like that. It just, yeah. So Abuse Me is a pretty is a good song. It's one of the best songs on the album. Get Out of My Way is pretty good. It's not as good as Abuse Me, but it's still pretty good. One thing about this album that I like is the production quality is pretty good. I mean, it is pretty good. I mean, I can't even. It's just really good for a freshman release. Um, Claws is again a pretty good song. It's good. Do It For You again is a good song. The only thing I would have to say about that is it is a little, you know, what would probably turn this album off to a lot of people is that it's about combating drug addiction. They're going to be like, oh, it's so cheesy. And for the most part, it isn't, but Do It For You is kind of preachy, kind of cheesy. Mistress Insidious is one of the best songs on the album. Don't Give Up is the vocal performances are mainly different for all the songs. And Don't Give Up is sung by a vocalist I know. His name is Ted Poley. And this is probably the weakest song on the album. And the reason why was a lot of it had to do with Ted Poley's performance. I'm really used to Ted Poley belting out his vocals, mainly because of how the Sonic games. Uh, he does a lot of songs for well, not a lot of songs, but he does songs for the Sonic games on the Sega Dreamcast, and so I really like his vocal style, but in Don't Give Up, it just seems like he's whispering. He's not really giving that full Ted Poley performance that I remember. So this is the weakest song on the album. But the next song, We Gotta Get Out of This Place, is a pretty good song. The only complaint I have about this is that the chorus repeats a lot. And it gets kind of, yeah, I don't know. One day at a time is a, one of the best songs on the album. It's definitely a high point. It's there with Abuse Me and Mistress Insidious. And Rockin Angel is up there with them too. It's one of the best songs. Rockin Angel, along with a bunch of the other songs, really feels like 90s grunge. To me at least. And I think that's pretty cool because it's like going in a it's yeah like going in a time capsule and you know not really that's stupid. Okay. Anyways, and then the next track is Serenity. It is the best song on the album in my opinion. Uh, yeah, it's a slower ballad, but man, it's performed really well, and actually, I think it's very well written. You'd think it'd be. I wasn't. Ballad wise, I would have expected something much cheesier, but man, they really took time to write this song. It seems like, 'cause I think it's really well done, very well executed. And then the next track is We Are One, which is one of the best songs on the album. Uh, it, oh shoot, I remember what I was gonna say. We Are One has this awesome vocal harmony in it that's really, it's just awesome. I know I'm saying that word a lot, but I just think it's really good. And then the last song is National Anthem 2.0, which is probably not the song to have ended with. Ending the album with a song. I don't know. They should have ended with "We Are One" because at least that was a pretty high note. I mean, the National Anthem 2.0 is a good song. It's up there with "Get Out of My Way," "Claws," and "Do It For You," but it's not really as good as, you know, Serenity or We Are One or Abuse Me. It's just not on with that. I don't really know how to explain it. It's not as good, and yeah, but it's still a good song. It's still a good note to end on. It's not the best note, but it is a good note to end on. And that's the album. Again, it's 45 minutes long, but it really just goes by. Now, for recommendations, if you're into if you're really into hard rock or even verging on metal, or I I don't know if I would recommend this to you because you might think it's a little, I don't know, you might think it's a little too cheesy, corny, quirky. I don't know. You might think it's a little bit weird, uh, because it's all the songs are about drugs and how to attain sobriety. And I don't know, it's really, if you're into a softer rock or even 90s grunge, I would suggest you check this album out. I think you might like it. But if you're into hard rock, um, you probably should. I mean, I guess "Abuse Me" would be a pretty good song. But I mean, other than that, I wouldn't recommend this for any hard rock fan. But overall, I rate this album at a 7 out of 10. And you know what? That's a pretty good score. It's an average score, and it's being given to the freshman release of two brothers who literally just began hopefully, um, their uh, have begun a hopefully fruitful career, because I've actually met one of them. I actually met Superstar with along with a bunch of other people, but that was through a tour that he was doing in schools, and he came to ours. So yeah, overall it's an album 7 out of 10. See ya.